Intentionality. The fact of being deliberate or purposive. This one word is something that's been on my mind a lot recently. It's rather self-explanatory, but I think it's becoming an increasingly lost art. In the last decade, we've transitioned away from traditional media delivery methods. Television shows which used to have a specific time slot that you intentionally had to go out of your way to watch have gone to 14 episodes all released at once, so you can binge watch them in a single sitting as Netflix counts down the seconds as it autoplays to the next. Movies are shot without a clear goal in mind. They'll fix it in post because there wasn't intention on the stage, and the end result is a vague facsimile of a movie without any substance. Except for, the substance. And the same can be extended to video games. Games used to be built to be a considerate length, generally where every minute is intentionally curated. They now have to be infinitely sprawling, and they have to be 80 hours long because they require you to play them forever. They also require constant upkeep so that you don't miss out on the next FOMO event. You're not necessarily playing this game because you want to, you're playing this game so that you don't miss out. This is not every game, movie, and TV show, but there has been a shift within how we consume and how media is made, and I think we need to be aware of these things. And I get it, I am not the first person to bring this up, but I would like to talk about it because I think it's becoming an increasingly more discussed thing, not just in how we consume media, but how we live our everyday lives. One example is that I was recently watching a video by mustache aficionado and YouTuber Eddie Burback, in which he completely removes his phone from his life. What did he gain from this experience? Well, you guessed it, intentionality. We live in a world of abundance, where everything is immediately available. For example, say you need a box to store your jewelry, you load up Amazon, you click the first one that has a couple of decent reviews, and it arrives on your doorstep the next day. There's nothing intrinsically wrong about this process, but it's very depersonalized, and it's probably the same thing 1,000 other people have done. It's a means to an end without much thought behind it. Nothing about that process was intentional. It sort of just happened. The wood is cheap and flimsy, which you're not necessarily disappointed about, nor are you surprised, but it does affect your opinion on this object every time you see it. The counter argument to that is this wooden box. Last year I took a woodworking class in which I made a very similar box. If you were to compare this box to the Amazon one, on many levels it's practically identical, and probably in many ways worse. There's chips on the dovetail joints, the lid sometimes doesn't properly close, and there's visible glue on the underside. But everything about it was deliberate. Naturally, I didn't intend to chip the wood when I was chiseling it out, but that process made me understand the craftsmanship that goes into making something as simple as a wooden box, and the intentionality behind it. Every time I look at this box, I get fond memories. And sure, it's a little bit rough around the edges, but it's a joy to hold, and every time I look at it, I kind of feel something. I can't say the same for this box. Going out of your way to find something that's intentional is incredibly difficult. It's usually expensive. It's also kind of time consuming. I understand not everybody can have that privilege, or the time, or the money. We're absolutely blessed to be living in the most abundant time in human history. But within that abundance, surely there's some responsibility to be kind of purposeful in what we're choosing to spend our time with. So, objects and possessions aside, how can I be more intentional in my life? Well, this is something I'm struggling with, and this video serves as a way for me to open this conversation with myself and the people I'm around, and you. Before we get into this, I would like to say that this is a discussion. It's not something I'm outright telling you to do, but it's things that I personally think have found to work for me. Do think about this yourself and what works for you. Don't just take my word for it. With that said, number 1, don't stop using AI. The internet arguably is getting worse, but it is not completely useless, and you can still find everything you need with better citations yourself. I can't believe I'm going to say this. Raw dog reality. You don't necessarily need noise-cancelling headphones everywhere you go. Listen to the world around you.
Something about the beauty of the crudeness of language, where when it's done eloquently.
The same applies to your phone. Instead of having it in your pocket, just leave it in your backpack instead. Number 3, read. Personally, I suck at this. I mean, I can read, that's not what I meant, but replace scrolling with literally anything. You can read anything that interests you. I personally tend to only read sci-fi novels, and my partner only reads romance. That's completely okay. If you like reading brochures about ducks, do it. Number 4, try and replace features of your phone with purpose-built items. I find myself taking a lot of photos on my phone, but I actually never look at my camera roll. But after I started taking this crappy digital camera from the early 2000s for everywhere with me, I suddenly realized I have a lot more cute and happy memories of my friends. Rather than just aimlessly shooting pictures, you actually appreciate the photos you take. Plus, it is much cheaper than film. Another example of this is try and replace your phone alarm with a physical alarm clock. The first thing you pick up in the morning could be yourself. Again, there are thousands of ways to be intentional, and this is only 4. I've left a link down in the description if you want to add your own, and I'll keep updating it with any ideas on how you can be more intentional. Personally, I want to take another woodworking class and get rid of our crappy IKEA table. I want to sit down and I don't want to stare at my phone. I want to read sci-fi novels. I want to not argue with annoying people on the internet. I want to be more aware of my world. I want to be deliberate. I don't want algorithmic feeds. I want to be intentional.